How's it going, bro?
Hi.
Fine. What are you reading now?
It's a book about Egypt.
Oh, I'm interested in Egypt revolution last year. Can you tell me something about it?
Sure, I just finished reading this book.
topic about the Egypt revolution. Can you explain what exactly happened in Egypt revolution?
Well, I just downloaded some videos in my laptop last night. It's about this event, so let me just show you. You can explain more clearly than me.
Okay.
Today we will still focus on Egyptian revolution. Egypt's revolution in 2011 to 2012 was affected by the success of protesters in Tunisia because of the economic crisis and the corruption of Egyptian government. Egyptian people also unsatisfied. With their government for a long time. Therefore, they try to act like Tunisia and to demand their government to change. Corruption is another serious problem for Egypt. Businessmen and politicians have a benefit relationship. The government controls occupations. Therefore, people who can get a high salary job do not need excellent skill. There is an example. Ex-President Mubarak once sells the land to a company with a low price just with a direct order. He stands up order according to a report by the personal wealth of Mubarak family is estimated between $50 to $70 million.
Okay, let's know something about Mubarak. Mubarak was born on the 1st of May 1928 in Egypt. Mubarak was known as to pray right before every flight to hope for a safe and successful flight. From 1969 to 1972, he was appointed Chief of Staff of Air Force. In 1972, he was appointed Deputy. In 1972, he was appointed Deputy Defense Minister and Air Force Commander. In February 1974, he was promoted to Lieutenant General. In 1975, he became Vice President. In 1981, he was appointed Prime Minister of Egypt. In October 1981, he was elected president. In October 1981, he was elected president. In 1987, 1993, 1999, 2005, he was re-elected president of Egypt.
In what extent the government has violated human rights of protesters?
Well, we have watched the video. From this video, we can saw that the policemen and the military used tear bombs and the powerful stream of water to try to stop the activity of those protesters. But and we also can saw some people drove the cars to crash those protesters. And I think those people are from the police or the military, and the military and also this kind of people, they beat the protester as they beat animals. What they have done is very brutal, and I think the government have no reason to do this kind of things. What they have done is totally violated the rights of those protesters.
Yes, I think so.
The second video is edited from many videos from in the internet, exactly from the social medias, Facebook and Twitter. They upload those videos into YouTube and share them on the Facebook, and they use Twitter to contact with with other groups of protesters. In order to block the contact between different groups of protesters, the government not only shut down the mobile phone service, but also shut down the internet. And I think everybody have the right to use the internet. What the government have done is totally unreasonable. It had violated the right of the people use the internet, and therefore the government had violated the right of the protest march on the street and show they are unsatisfied of the government and the freedom of using the internet. Well, now you have know what had happened in Egypt, no?
Yes, now I know the reason why the protests will happen in Egypt.
Well, I also have the other two videos is also about Egypt's revolution, and one is how the government respond the protest activities. The other is from my friend. She's in Egypt, and this is her homework. Let's watch the other two videos.
Thousands of civilians converge in the street. Protesters erupt through Egypt, with tens of thousands of protesters gathered in Cairo and thousands more in cities through Egypt, and the scale is even more than the government estimated before, so that protesters can easily break through the Great Nile and go to Tahrir Square, where is a famous place to demonstrate. Finally, the police withdraw, but in this event, 2 protesters and a police will die, and hundreds of people are hurt. In February 1st, a protester was shot dead by a policeman in a little town, so the death increasing to 7 people. After that, the revolution is even more fierce. More and more violent events happened, including the government building were burned down, thousands of civilians were arrested in different races, at least 120 arrests involved. Most of them are members of Muslim Brotherhood, and approximately 600 people were arrested in Cairo, including the Egypt journalists who report the truth.
Will not be silenced whether you're a Christian!
Hundreds of thousands demonstrated in Cairo and other Egyptian cities after 5-day prayers. Police used tear gas and powerful stream of water to disperse people while the protesters threw stones to the police. But the protesters also active in demonstrate. But the government even used a truck to crush protesters. Some television companies even were forced to shut down just for report the object truth. A few days later, the authority announced that curfew, but it was widely ignored and the protests still acting in everywhere, so the troops and America are setting in the key point one by one. For example, train station, a government structure and bank. And for the potential threat of prison attack, the airplane will also be cancelled. The protesters clean the streets by volunteer. They are Egyptian, they love Egypt. The American President Obama also announced and condemned the Egypt government.
Of a new chapter in the history of a great country. Through thousands of years, Egypt has known many moments of transformation. The voices of the Egyptian people tell us that inspiration.
The government wants to disperse protesters by using powerful steam water car, but it doesn't work. That's a very important event in Egypt revolution. Violence upgrade as a wave of Mubarak supporters met anti-government protesters, and some Mubarak supporters rode on camels and horses into Tahrir Square by using sticks to hurt people. President Mubarak reiterated his refusal to step down in interviews with several news agents. Incidents of violence toward journalists and reporters. The violence was being encouraged by Mubarak as a way to bring the protest to an end. Finally, the other countries condemned the violence of Egypt's government. They said it is completely and absolutely unacceptable. Now you can see the people how hurt they are. People call this day Friday of Departure as well. Massive protests continue in many cities as Egyptians refuse the concession announced by Mubarak. Finally, at 6 p.m. local time, Suleiman announced Mubarak's resignation, entrusting the Super Council of Egyptian Armed Forces with the leadership of the country. Now you can see nationwide celebration immediately followed. That's a great success revolution in Egypt. People win the human rights, freedom. They win a good future.
Egyptians have inspired us, and they've done so by putting the lie to the idea that justice is best gained through violence.
Hello, my name is Sammy. Today my topic is the role of the social media during the Egypt Revolution. In 2010, 8th of June, Ganimu, a 20 years old Google marketing executive, was browsing the Facebook in his home in Dubai. Was browsing Facebook in his home in Dubai and found it in starring images. This image is posted to a Muhammad says. To a 28 years old from Alexander who had been beaten to death by the Egypt police. He created a Facebook page. Today they killed Muhammad. He wrote, If I don't ever, he said, tomorrow they will kill me. 2 minutes after, he started his Facebook page. 300 people have joined it 3 months later. That number had grown to more than 250,000. What bubbled up online inevitable spread onto the streets, starting with the series of slanted stands that culminated in a message and his story at the Tahrir Square in downtown Cairo. 26-year-old Asim of Egypt recorded this video on 18th of January, uploaded it to YouTube and shared it on her Facebook. To her surprise, dozens of other people picked up on the spirit of her message and start on post. To her surprise, to start to post their own picture, holding similar signs to their trips, and decline their internet to take the street on 25 of January. In what turned out to beginning of the revolution, almost no one else thought possible. The process also used Twitter start to revolution. There is no doubt that the social media played a very important role during the Egypt revolution.
Social media during the Egyptian revolution.
Sure, but I think you ignore people have freedom to choose their president. Hosni Mubarak has ruled Egypt for about 30 years. Most people want him get out from the seat of president, but he even tries to elect his son to be the next president.
Yeah, you are right. At this one, the Egyptian government had violated three rights of the Egyptian people. The first right, the match one, and the second one is the freedom of using internet, and the third one is the right to enjoy the democracy.
Well, it's lunchtime now. We have talked such a long time. Why not have lunch together?
Okay, let's go.